Dial Models Workshop.
Hi, it's Yeji.
And Clint.
Hey, it's Larry. You are entering Models Workshop After Hours, a modeling podcast where we talk about miniatures, model painting, and we cuss a lot. If you can be offended, we're probably going to offend you. Then you're going to laugh, and you're going to feel bad. And then we'll offend you again, and then you'll laugh again. You see the pattern. So kick out, sit back, grab your brush, grab your paints, and get ready to have some fun.
Hello, model workers. It's us again, and by us I mean it's me and Chloe, and just us. Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
About 3 minutes ago, we had Larry on the line, calling from somewhere on a road in the middle of nowhere, USA, and then he disappeared because apparently Skype doesn't work while you're driving.
Clearly, be coming around the mountain when he comes.
Oh, he's there.
Oh, he's there, and we're now recording. Hello. we started without you, sir.
You guys were.
He just waited.
He did, yeah. Welcome back, sir. We were just saying that you weren't there because Skype doesn't work while you're driving a truck.
I'm in the mountains of Massachusetts. So.
There are mountains in Massachusetts?
It doesn't work without
I think it was better when we could talk about him.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're only going to be able to join in when you're on, what, the leeward or the windward side of the mountain?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. This is kind of a new way to get from point C or point B to C, and this is only the second time I've run it, so I don't know what the signal is.
Shit.
It's pretty fucking terrible. And
next stop, workshop after Harris UK, Max Headroom.
God, I'm going to be editing the fuck out of this. All right. So, Larry, do you want to give us a catch-up? Because we haven't had an episode from you guys over there. What's been going on in the land of the free?
Apparently, I have too much freedom. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Well, okay. So, when you've been married for almost 20 years, and then suddenly you're divorced, and you have no more checks and balances that you have to go through before you go do stuff, you just go do it. It's this whole sense of freedom. You know, that was actually the bad part about that. As far as the podcast goes, that's been the real bad part of the entire divorce thing, is the fact that I used to have a set schedule. I would do this, and I didn't realize just how much of a rut I was in. I would, I knew on Friday, on this day, I was going to sit down, I was going to record, and because I had this set routine and pattern, and now I don't. And that's actually been the hardest part about recording, plus the fact that Yeji is doing her thing with the entire Twitch streaming and painting on commission full time now. So there's a lot of
freedom.
A lot of time to fill with not knowing what to do. Is this how your hair turned that colour?
That was bad dye. Yeah.
Over on the U.S. side, what I'm trying to overcome is my increased freedom and just everybody else's life kind of being rustled around.
Okay. Well, over here, we are struggling with actually being able to get the 4 or 5 of us in one phone call together at any one time. So pretty much it's just me and Chloe, and sometimes Ian. Poor old Simon has become a virtual farmer, and Dave has relegated himself to just being mentioned, and pops up on the chat from time to time and says, nope.
No, I'm not free, so no.
Well, as an added bonus, we could always do just the 3 of us at any time, and we could just post it out as a generic Models Workshop After Hours episode, which I'm honestly sure the people who are listening would love.
Well, it is normally the Chloe and Peter show anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
But Chloe. I didn't think you liked Peter.
I don't, but I'm forced to talk to him every fucking month. So
Every
cheers.
fucking month. I mean, it was meant to be every fucking fortnight, but, she managed
But then we got bored of each other, so...
Yeah. And
Not
then
where I was
I
going
lost a
with
wife
that
and she
at
gained...
all, but-
I didn't want to nag him, he just got rid of that.
No, I
know
haven't
that
got rid of
feeling.
that.
Sleeping on her couch.
You're going to be sleeping on a couch.
You can
Yeah.
come sleep on my couch.
No thanks, I've got no rights
You
over there, so... I'll stay here, mate.
I don't
I'm
have a
good.
couch.
You're welcome, though.
Yeah, it might be the Larry in the UK cast because I find my ass over there.
Well,
Just bring your magic cards and we'll be fine.
God, that's something I
man.
don't understand.
Okay, so that's another thing that I've been really focusing on pretty heavy is my magic stuff as well. More collecting than playing, but oh boy, have I been collecting. But as far as things have been going, I've been buying way too much magic cards, but I've also started
here.
buying models.
I'm here if
my
you need
girl-
me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need. More of an enabler. My girlfriend and I did pick up some 40K stuff and some Age of Sigmar stuff. She decided that she wants to play orcs,
Yeah.
and she also picked up the starter that has the goblins and the tree folk people,
Oh,
which
that's
I guess
cool.
is
And
really, which I guess is really rare here in the States because they were like, buy it because it's being scalped for like $250. I was like, they're like, all right. And it was cool because she loves the way the goblins look.
Yeah, they're
And that's
cool.
why she got into orcs. And I've been wanting to get into the tree people, so it was like totally perfect.
All the squigs. Woohoo.
Yeah. And then I picked up a model from one of the new busts from George. It's been like 2 years since I bought from him, and I can't believe that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
amazing.
shit, George, do you remember me? It's like, of course, my friend, I remember you. And I was like, I need one of these and I need one of these. And he's like, they're in the mail to you. And I was like, rock on.
Nice.
They look amazing.
And then, yeah, I love his stuff. And he's out of Greece, so he's actually closer to your side of the pond. Now, I've also picked up another hobby, which was an old hobby way back in the day, but I'm getting back into it. And it kind of bleeds over into the miniature painting, kind of. But I've gotten into RC car racing.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Another cheap hobby then, yeah?
Yeah, sure. I've got almost 1,000 invested in it so far, and I started a week ago.
God, and that's just the
Nice.
controller.
Dump that much on Magic in one go. It's not really
Oh,
Big
Chloe, that was even it. I spent more on Magic in the last 2 weeks than I have RC car racing. If that
You
tells
spent
you
more on
something.
Magic in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 3 years. I wish I could. I'm just
I
jealous.
spent over 750 in the last 2 weeks on Magic.
Shit. It's cool though. I'm sorting
That
the cards out as we speak, actually. I've just got all my Spark stuff.
That was actually just 4 cards. So me?
Four cards for $750.
Which ones did you get?
I got 3 of the Mythic Edition Ugins, the Spirit Dragons,
Oh, yeah.
and I picked up 1 Liliana, the Last Hope Mythic Edition version.
Cool. Did you not get your boxes in the end?
Hell no, I get 2 uncut sheets and 2 $20 gift certificates because screw you.
Assholes.
No, dude, I was so fucking pissed.
Well, that
Everyone was
really is a pay-to-play game then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably the original pay-to-play game.
Well, Standard's
Now,
not
to
too
be
bad,
fair-
but yeah, Modern is expensive.
No. Standard is the most expensive format because you constantly have to buy in. I can build my modern deck. I have a modern deck that's actually pretty successful. It wins quite a bit. Costs $350.
Yeah, I collect anyway, though, so I suppose it doesn't really bother me because I always get the new sets in regardless because I collect them. So I always have Standard there. But I suppose, yeah, if you're buying it just to be competitive, then definitely.
Modern is probably in the long run, the cheapest format because you make one investment and more than likely your deck's not going to change
Yeah.
for a while. But if you do Standard, every few months you're having to buy more, you're having to buy more, you're having to buy more.
It's the fun of it.
So, right? But modern, you can spend anywhere from, I think you can build a deck for like $150, all the way up to, I think my Tron deck is currently sitting at about $4 or $5 grand. But it's pretty. My Tron deck is beyond.
That's because you went fucking nuts with it and got special versions of cards and stuff, though.
4 box topper Karns, 3 masterpiece Worm Coil engines, 3 masterpiece O stones. What else? Oh, two of the limited edition promo version of the Ugin, which spiked in price, and then I also have 2 mythic editions that I can swap in if I want full foils.
Peter's like, I ain't got a fucking clue what you're talking about right now.
I understood box toppers.
Full Antiquities lands, and then everything else is either promo or I'm foiling it out. So
that's why it's $5 grand.
It's yeah.
I used to collect trading cards, and I had a couple of CCGs, but I never got into Magic, and I never got into playing the CCGs. I just like collecting them.
You just saved yourself a lot of money, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. Annoyingly, I back in the day I had the Next Generation CCG.
The problem is that at least CCGs have a resale value. Miniature games have a fucking shit resale value.
Yeah,
they certainly do. But actually, I was about to say, when I was at uni, I collected because I worked in a local sort of sci-fi nerd shop. It wasn't gaming; it was just basically a Trek shop, and we had the Star Trek Next Generation cards, and the first edition of those had a black border, and subsequent editions had white borders. And the rarest card in any of the edition was the Future Enterprise from the last episode, All Good Things. So it was the one with the 3 warp drives. And at the time, that one card in a black border edition, which I have, or had, I think I gave it away eventually because it ended up being worth nothing, it was worth £200-300
$200
at the time, and now it's worth, I saw a black border one going for $6. So I thought, well,
Data and Picard used to be, actually any of the named crew used to range in like for $60 to $100 if it was black border. Yeah, that was the Cypher that used to own that. They were purchased by Score.
Right. I say he knows this game. Okay.
He knows everything.
He does. I played one game of that.
Knows everything.
Chloe, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or a snarky comment.
No, it's totally a compliment. Sorry, I haven't turned my sarcastic work voice off yet.
You're British. You don't have a non-sarcastic voice.
Well, no, I've got a sarcastic work voice, and then I've just got a sarcastic voice. One's slightly more sarcastic than the other because I've got to work with dickheads all day.
So the work one is tinged with a good portion of asshole.
Yeah, like a really sweet kind of fuck you all day. Yeah.
So
it's great.
Yeah, so
'cause I don't know.
I'm actually thinking. Well, my plan is, one thing I would like to do is rip down the entire Models Workshop website, resort it, put all the information that we want for the website onto it properly, and then re-upload everything and make. And this was a plan. This actually was a plan from the get-go. Make miniatures, models, RC cars, and then maybe something for Magic, because that's something I do quite a bit. Mm-hmm. That'll probably be buried somewhere like Models Workshop /Magic, and that would just be more personal for like Chloe and myself and just a couple members that play. But in all realization, I wanted to do RC cars, models, and miniatures, and then maybe even trains if we can find a train guy. That way we can, or girl.
We got a farm guy.
That way we cover everything as far as the miniature. Are they small? Yes. Can you paint them? Yes. Can you work on them? Yes. Can you mod them? Yes. So we cover all those bases. And that's why RC cars, I still say, are somewhat relatable, because you can paint them, you can mod them, you can do a whole bunch of different things with them.
Well, absolutely.
Now, speaking of trains, did you hear about that shit that happened in the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Absolute
round the
arseholes.
corner from my parents.
Like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of train models
The
destroyed.
time. The time that went into them. 20 years
Well,
to build a set.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Well, there was one locomotive that they said that was like 4,000 or 5,000 pounds by itself.
So, anybody listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, in a little town called Market Deeping up just north of Cambridge in the UK, was it over the weekend?
Saturday, I think.
Saturday, they had an exhibition in Market Deeping of, as we just said, 20 years worth of or a lifetime's worth of building model train sets, and it got completely trashed by.
And it wasn't just one
Arseholes.
person either. This is multiple people that set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was
First
like a
one-
little mini convention in a local village hall.
Right, and
And
it was a good sized hall too, and it was a full expo. Yeah,
Yes.
and they showed oh my god, they showed the pictures afterwards, and it looked like a fucking hurricane that went through, or a tornado had went through there. The shit was, even the tables and the chairs were smashed to bits.
It was ridiculous.
I hope
And-
they find those bastards, and I hope they fucking hang him by the short hairs from a really tall pole.
Well, we don't do that in the UK anymore, but I think they have caught the guys, or at least they know who it is. But the slightly nice thing that's come up from this is that somebody set up a GoFundMe page, and they said, we just want £500 for us to get set back up again and start our hobby afresh and rebuild. And in the 3-4 days since this happened, they've raised £25,000.
Like, I'm all cool for that, but I think it's just shit because they've spent nearly 20 years building some of these train
They're
sets.
not going to
You
get
can't
the
get
time
that back, can
No.
you? Like, that's just absolutely
some of those-
ridiculous.
And some of those train sets were vintage, like
Yeah.
ridiculously rare too.
And they're literally crushed. Like, if you look at the pictures, they are mangled
couldn't-
and crushed.
If,
Like,
if you
you're not
had
getting that back.
shown me those pictures without me knowing what it was, I could not have told you it was a train
Nah.
expo.
it doesn't look like a train.
It doesn't look anything like what it's supposed to be. They didn't just vandalize. They absolutely brutalized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they'll build some sort of dystopian future of steam train set for the next
Well, I
one,
hope-
and use
I
the
hope
old
some of
knackered
this stuff
things.
stops.
I mean, I hope they catch the guys. I hope they fine them, jail them, whatever they're going to punish them, whatever way they see fit. But I hope the guys involved in with the actual trains can move on and find something positive to move from the whole experience, because I can imagine it's a crushing feeling to have your passionate hobby completely destroyed.
I'd be raging. If someone came in here and trashed all my models, or even came in and trashed my Lego City, like, it's taken us hours to build that. I'd be so angry. Just the principle of it.
But
It's
all right, let's move on to something a little more happy, because that's like literally infuriating.
yeah.
Go on, find something happy to move on from.
How about we talk about the Crystal Brush leaving Adepticon?
Hooray.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, happy.
No, I honestly, it wasn't a surprise. There was whispers about it leaving at Adepticon this year. It was funny because Michelle Farnsworth actually put out a rumor, air quotes, that's what she'd heard, and Adepticon actually addressed it like, oh, these are just rumors, you shouldn't listen to them. And like a month later, Cool Mini is pulling Crystal Brush. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. I wrote an article about how poor Simon's booth was at Crystal Brush, or at Adepticon. They brought one core game out of the 40 that they have. It was not even really well, like, you walk in and I literally went up to him and was like, do you have another booth? No, this is it. I'm like, okay. No con exclusives. I could buy the stuff they were selling at Adepticon for 20 to 30% off at my FLGS. Why am I why am I going to buy it at Adepticon? They lost money. They literally lost hundreds of dollars that I had put aside to buy Cool Mini stuff because I wanted some of their exclusives. But they didn't have any exclusives that they have, I know, in stock because they bring them to Gen Con. Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. But, you know, Jen Haley no longer works at Cool Mini. I don't know. I don't know what happened, and I don't know, and I'm not even going to speculate. But I will say, I will point out that about the exact same time that they pulled the crystal brush is about the same time that I noticed that she no longer worked at Cool Mini.
Right.
And she just started now talking about other people's miniatures because she doesn't feel like she's being a Benedict Arnold, for lack of a better term. But it was... I've said it before that Cool Mini's business model is crap. It's an unsustainable model. One bad Kickstarter, and that's it for them. Mm-hmm. They don't have inventory. It's unsustainable. It straight up is unsustainable. Because they never net a lot of profit. You know, a typical board game nets a certain amount of percentage for profit per unit sold. Cool Mini doesn't get that because it's all Kickstarter, and they're shoving all of this money towards these. It's just a bad model. And they were talking about how it wasn't financially responsible of them to continue doing Crystal Brush. Well, your big draw is Crystal Brush. You get the first booth as you walk into the hall, right there on the left, and you don't bring any games. Sorry, Cool Mini, that's your fault. You fucked up. You did it bad. You didn't bring anything to sell. If you'd have brought Super Dungeon Explorer, I would have bought it. If you'd have brought expansions to Massive Darkness, I would have bought it. If you'd have brought another one, if you'd have brought Rising Suns, I would have bought it. If there would have been... Here's the thing. I actually want to get into the Song of Fire and Ice board game. But once again, why would I buy it in Chicago at a 10% tax rate, one of the highest in the United States, 10% tax rate.
God, only 10%.
With well,
I wish.
With absolutely zero incentive. No exclusive miniatures, Nothing for if I buy $200, I get this cool little miniature for free. That would have been enough enticement for me to buy it from them.
Yeah.
But because usually their exclusives are worth a pretty penny, but there was nothing. So I could go back to my home state at my gaming shop, get it at a minimum of 10% off, and only pay 7% tax on top of that. Why would I buy it at Crystal Brush?
You wouldn't.
or at Adepticon? It makes no fucking sense at all. So they lost sales.
Didn't you get a core set free with the ticket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why the fuck would you buy it?
Premium. No, we were okay. So the core set comes with the Lannisters and the Starks,
right?
And you can buy. It's kind of like a 40K thing. So you can buy other factions, and they have other kits too. Like you can buy swordsmen from the Lannisters that are not in the thing. It's very 40K, or it's very fantasy-ish, and how the boxes are laid out. Well, they had the Blackguard, or the Night Watch. They had the Night Watch, which is who I kind of wanted to play. But once again, why would I buy it for $90 there at an obscene tax rate with absolutely no incentive when I can go back to my local gaming shop and pay like $80 or $75 at a lower tax rate and get the exact same thing from there? They shot themselves in the foot because when they sell a product, they get a higher amount of the profit. But if I buy it from my gaming shop, they get less profit because it's went through distribution, which has a markup and everything else. So honestly, them losing money on Adepticon is absolutely their fault, period. They can't point fingers at anybody else. They fucked up. They didn't entice us to buy from them, and fuck their fucked up business model.
Do you think that maybe... Do you think maybe that they had a crap stand at Adepticon because they're already on a decline?
No, I wouldn't doubt it one bit. I think honestly their business model is finally starting to catch up with them.
Yeah, so pulling Crystal Brush out, blaming it on financial things from Adepticon
I think they set it up themselves.
is just a bit of spin.
I think they honestly set it up themselves where they didn't bring. I think they didn't bring a lot of profit, kind of on purpose. That way, when they didn't have the quote unquote sales, because here's the thing. Here's a fun fact. They're headquartered out of Hong Kong, so they're Hong Kong investors. They can go, hey, look at our financial figures from this last Adepticon. We're losing money, so we need everyone to vote whether we can remove ourselves. Something Hinkley's happening. And all I have to say about the entire Cool Mini or Not thing, do a Google search on New Wave and David Doust. And honestly, I think that'll explain it all. Because David Doust was the founder of Cool Mini, and he's a shareholder of Cool Mini. And he was also the owner of New Wave. And the New Wave debacle, which you can still find on the internet, is horrible.
I will look it up afterwards.
But no, okay, let's move on to the other side of the thing. What I honestly think is good news. So,
and Golden Demon is going to replace Crystal Bush from next year at Adepticon.
Exactly. Okay,
See,
now,
I'm in two minds about this.
Okay.
Apart from what you're going to tell us why it's a great idea, the thing that I always liked about Crystal Brush, and having never been to one, just seeing the photographs and stuff, is that it allowed painters to not only have GW figures to play with. They got to do some of George's stuff, some of anybody else's busts, massive sculpts, small things, interesting things, disgusting things, anything that wasn't just, a regular scale model was fine.
Okay, and I agree with you. That is one of the major cons that I have. This is going to sound weird, but one of the major cons and pros is the fact that it's GW only.
Yeah.
Allegedly, we don't know for sure because new GW has been really weird lately. So we might see it as a multifaceted competition. I don't think so. But it could. It could come out and be like, hey, we're going to allow everybody to enter, and then we're going to have our own little subcategory for best of manufacturer. Which, if they do that, fucking awesome. That means, honestly, this is the best news possible. But the reason why it's bad news is, yes, I just got done buying a $100 bust that I was going to enter in the bust competition for Adepticon next year from George. I can't now because... possibly I can't now because it's Golden Demon and it's a non-GW model. But here's where it's good. I watched a friend of mine, Matthew Fontaine, buy, used to be $12.50, it's probably $20 now, a $20 bike. One Space Marine bike. That's it. One bike.
Mm-hmm.
He painted that motherfucker up. Didn't even do anything real special to it. Not a lot of add-ons. The base was actually reasonably minimalistic, but he prepped it and he painted it and took a Golden Demon in vehicle competition. Not single mini, which he could have entered with a single bike. Vehicle. He entered it in vehicle and won the Golden Demon with a single $20 model. And this is why it's a good thing, because it evens out the playing field. Because if you look in the past, the last 3-4 years, it's these super expensive, custom sculpted, the sculptor, I'm not going to say anything, Michael Contos, recruits and headhunts whatever painter he wants, and they work in collaboration with one another to come up with these, yes, absolutely astonishing and beautiful models that take the show. It's becoming very unfun, and every year that you've seen at Adepticon in the last few years, the number of miniatures and models has shrunk because everybody is winning the same categories over and over and over and over. And honestly, Cool Mini has been doing some dumb shit with their categories about removing this, removing that, removing this, removing that, for no reason at all. Like, we're going to remove chibis. Oh, we better add chibis back. And at least one thing I can say about Golden Demon is they haven't removed a category in 20 years. It's all stayed the same.
And actually, next year they'll be adding chibis because they've just released some.
But here's the thing. This is where GW could have an absolute 110% win. They open the Golden Demon to all manufacturers. And even then, if they don't, and they only make sculpted shit, and it's in the open category. And even if they don't, is it really that bad if you want to enter a painting competition to go out and buy a model that ranges anywhere from $10 to $35, upwards of $1,000 to paint, to enter a painting competition? Now, listen to what I'm saying. To enter a painting competition, because Adepticon Crystal Brush has not been a painting competition. It's been a, let's see who can sculpt the best stuff, let's see who can do all this stuff, because that's who's winning. It's the custom shit. Just like single miniature. That's not a single miniature, that's a motherfucking diorama. That's a full-fledged fucking diorama, and that's what's been winning single miniature. Crystal Brush has been a joke recently. It's been run poorly. They don't follow their own rules. And at least the one thing I can say about Golden Demon is they do follow the rules. They will not allow you in there. And it doesn't have that broken-ass online popularity contest where you see people sponsoring like, hey, go vote for my miniature, please. Bullshit. I'm sorry, that was absolutely the most broken part about the competition. It was a popularity contest. Because there are pieces that I have watched win first that should have been second or third, and second or third should have been first. And that's not even a matter of opinion. That's a matter of looking at them and going, that model is technically better than the other model. And honestly, that's why I think Golden Demon taking over. The only thing that sucks about it is it's GW only, but the best thing about it is that it's GW only. It does turn back into a full-fledged painting competition. And you may not like Games Workshop, you may think they're the worst thing ever, but if you want to enter an actual painting competition, it sets the bar more even for everyone. Because I don't have to have a best friend like George go, hey George, custom sculpt me this piece, and because I want to enter in the Golden Demon, and that's how we're going to show it off to everyone first, is that it'll be showcased at the Golden Demon. And then, 6 months down the line, we'll offer it as a exclusive limited edition kit that we're going to sell for $1,000 a piece.
Yeah,
which is what Crystal Brush has turned into. It opens up the only people that should honestly seriously be upset that it's went from Crystal Brush to Golden Demon are the people who have been winning the Crystal Brush repeatedly. And honestly, the people that have been winning the Crystal Brush repeatedly can still win the Golden Demon. They're good painters. I'm not saying that they're bad painters, but it does make it where a person who doesn't have the connections that everybody else does has a slightly more even playing field. Because here's the thing, if you're a good sculptor and a good painter like Mark Maxey has turned into, that dude has really gotten really good at sculpting too. He can still sculpt his GW miniatures. He can still, he entered his egg bots, which were basically like Nurgle things. He can still sculpt them because they have an aesthetic to being. They have that nerdly aspect to them. So he could still enter them. He could still sculpt them and enter them even to this day. I don't know. What was your thoughts on it? I know he said that it's bad because it's GW only, but.
It's not necessarily bad because it's GW only, but you end up playing an entirely different game. It ends up not about being the best painted, but about being the best painted of things that are on sale right now that are promoting current product and things that they particularly would like to push.
Nah, I'll call shenanigans on that. Once again, yes, I will say, I'll throw a partial shenanigans on that. I will say that I have seen a little bit of favoritism towards some of the newer range models, but not always. Not always.
You're not going to see anything right now in a Golden Demon winning, let's say, a short Marine wearing a Mark V tactical power armor.
No. You know what? I'm going to call. I will call full shenanigans on that.
Really?
I think Yes, because I think, honestly, part of the reason that newer models skew and win higher in the competition is because that's what's being sold. That's what people are buying. It's the new shiny thing. It's us consumers that control that. What are we going to enter? The new shiny. So we go out, we buy them because, oh my God, the new models are gorgeous. But if you did something really badass with the older Marines in the Mark V or Mark IV tactical, and like with the B keys or whatever, I still think that it has a good chance to win.
I think you should do it.
I reference back to Matthew Fontaine taking a single $15 bike with nothing special done to it and winning the vehicle competition.
Yeah, but that was 2013. That was current for the time. That was... No. Hell no. That bike sculpt has been the same since the fucking late 90s. Yeah, but it's not out of production. It's not something that it was something that they were still selling. So
you want me to take it?
So they're not selling beakies right now, apart from I think one set where they've got some retro beakies on Primaris legs.
You know what? I have not done my squad choice yet. Actually, I haven't done any choices. I had my bus picked out, but you know what? I haven't done my squad choice. I'll have to dig around and see if I have some old school Marines, which I'm pretty sure I do.
I've still got loads.
That's pretty much all I have is old stuff. I mean, it might be because I wasn't very good that I didn't make the final cut. But when I entered in 2011, 2012 with a 1996 lead Great Unclean one, which I thought was pretty good at the time. I think because there had been about 3 different Great Unclean ones since that one, that might have been something that pushed it back a little. It might just mean that it was shit.
Well, also, let's be real. GW is putting out some fucking fire models recently.
Oh yeah, there's some really good stuff.
Their models have been absolute fire. Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Forge World is redundant. They don't need Forge World anymore. They can do away with Forge World because the plastics that they're doing nowadays are on par with the resin models that they were doing. Now, I understand that Forge World does have its uses for small batch stuff because of the cost of molding between small and large, yada, yada, yada. But detail-wise, you're not getting any better details out of the Forge World resin like you used to versus the GW plastics nowadays. Those GW plastics look just as good, and in some cases, better than the Forge World resin.
Absolutely, and you don't have the hours and hours of prep to straighten them out and cut off kilos of flash.
They killed off Forge World when they brought out the little Titan sets. That was it. Gone.
Well, here's the thing that I'll believe that whenever they bring out like a Revenant Titan or a Warhound Titan, which I'm actually surprised they haven't yet.
I got mini ones. That's enough for me. I did a full size one. It was fucking rubbish.
No. Yeah, I've done a full size Warhound too, and I have done a Revenant as well. Guess what's coming out very soon, and I think it might spell the smaller Titans entering Games Workshop range. Kill Team. The Titans are becoming Kill Team models.
That's hilarious.
There's going to be a Titanicus version of Kill Team now.
That's going to kill off there completely then.
Yeah, if they release plastic Titans, then that's going to be the nail in the coffin for Forge World. Except for very, very large and very, very, like, conversion kits. Like they used to be.
Yeah, or like extra shoulder pads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all I ever bought from them now.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Screw getting anything else. Extra armour and all that kind of thing. I
think I've got one Tau big suit, the Forge World version, I forget what it is. The Arvana, I think it was called.
I did get into Tau. My teammate, who also just piped in a second ago that the plastic models are so much easier to clean up. But yeah, I bought his Tau army, which was really more kill team-ish oriented, but can easily be expanded into like a small 15 or 2,000 point army. So apparently now I have a new army, Tau, which I've kind of wanted anyways.
They're good fun. You sit at the edge of the table and volley 30-inch starter rounds.
Well, you know what? As being an old Mad Cat player from BattleTech, that fits perfect with my play style. Load up with a lot of LRMs and long lasers, and just sit back and go pew 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 pew. Maybe a couple PPCs.
It's totally a Venus and Serena match. It's playing Tau is baseline tennis.
But yeah, so that was another new thing on my side. Now it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot more entries into the Golden Demon. I really do. I think it's going to spike, and the number of entries that are in Golden Demon or in the painting competition at Adepticon. And GW seriously has a way to hit it out of the park if they somehow work out allowing other people's products into their competition.
It'd be interesting if they do, but I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to put money on it. I have the 30p that's sitting in front of me. I'm going to put on they will not allow third-party stuff. That's my bet. It's written in stone now.
5 years ago, I would have said no chance in hell. But with the new CFO that took over for the CEO and has been been really pro-consumer recently, I would say it's a possible. It's still a low possible, but I'll say that it's in the realm of possible now. I will say it's not impossible.
That's okay. You can take that side of the bet. I think what's 30p? That's about 50 cents.
Yeah, I got you a Coke.
Fine. We'll a can of Coke, a bottle of Coke, whatever. Either when I'm over at yours or when you come over here. And I say no, they won't, and you say yes, they will.
All right, Chloe, what do you think?
I think if they do let other people come in, it may be restricted. I don't know if they'll go down the sponsorship route. But
that could be an interesting way of doing it.
So they might partner up rather than just say everything. They might partner up with other companies, let's say Mantic or something like that. But then they wouldn't probably pick their biggest nemesis
and former employees.
But that's just an example.
Mantic?
Yeah, Mantic. God, who
Games Workshop.
Yeah, Needy Cat. Yeah, pretty much anybody who's a big hitter at the minute at some point was part of Games Workshop.
But I think that might be another option if they do decide to go down that route, rather than just letting everyone in, because that's unlikely.
But then, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, they're doing a deal with Bandai for big, Gundam style.
Well, they've got pops as well.
Oh my god,
they've got pops.
They have the statues. If they do the actual Bandai Gundam style Space Marines, dude, game the fuck over. You can just take my fucking wallet at this point.
Yeah, I'll be getting one. No doubt about it.
I already bought one of the Space Marine pop vinyls.
Have you?
It wasn't for me, though. My teammate plays Dark Angel. He went from playing Tau and Dark Angels and Kill Team to just playing Tau, or just playing Dark Angels, and he wanted the Dark Angel pop.
Right.
They're expensive, but holy fuck, are they heavy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, the Dark Angel one is like probably at least twice as heavy as any of the other pops that I have.
Is it made of forge-rolled resin?
It feels it, dude. It feels solid as shit.
Wow. Okay, then. Yeah. So, yeah, they've got the Bandai thing. They've got the Chibi line that they've announced. And they look super cute.
Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they partnered up with someone, to be honest, with the way they're going at the minute.
Munchkin, Monopoly,
and it might be that what they do is, if they go down that sponsored route or It'll be any of their partner products that'd be allowed that would go into the open category only.
Yeah.
Possibly, unless they had its own category like LOTR does.
Yeah, extra, so sponsored or
It's not
alternative.
sponsored. It's just its own. It's just its own category. It's like Lord of the Rings Squad, and everything else. That was more of a marketing thing, though.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they'll announce the rules probably
Hopefully.
in January.
Oh,
That didn't sound healthy.
I'm just opening the doors on my trailer.
I'm still sitting in my kitchen.
I've driven halfway across the state.
You're in a much better cell phone area where you are right now. See, I killed it. Dead.
No, I'm still sitting right here.
Okay. So what I want to know, off the back of all the announcements that have been coming out in the last few weeks, Bandai Chippies, we've got Plastic Sisters due, I think, in August.
What? They officially announced them?
No, they announced them a year ago, so...
Really?
Yeah.
We were chatting about boobs, remember?
Yeah,
I
and
thought
there's...
they were still having issues with them.
Oh, they probably still are, but I'm expecting them in August, but they'll probably knock back to November by now. But we've got these new paint line, and...
New.
New paint line. Well, it might actually be something... I'm thinking that they tested the waters last year with the two technical paints, the Nighthaunt Gloom and Hexwraith Flame, which are lovely paints. I don't like the colour of one of them as much as I do the other, but they go on so smooth. And I think these new contrast paints are going to be the same formulation as those. It was when the thing came out and there was the ad, one thick coat, and then they showed a whole load. I thought...
The videos are cool.
What, their videos?
Yeah, the little
I didn't see them.
videos are good. They're quite funny.
With Duncan in it? Oh my god, I thought Duncan was
Yeah.
going to have a heart attack.
That's hilarious.
I need to watch those. I haven't seen an official 40k Warhammer video or
Oh,
video
you
for
haven't
ages.
seen it?
No.
On Instagram, they're really good.
It's fucking hilarious, man.
They're
Their
brilliant.
viscosity lab.
Okay. They've been going like a really sort of second-rate Monty Python style.
Oh yeah, it's really
for
shit,
a few
but
months.
it's funny.
But when I saw the poster of one thick coat, and then I saw the sort of
Dude, I'm almost saying pause it, and go watch the video like right now. No, dude, like seriously, it makes the entire campaign so much more funny.
Okay, hang on. Okay, and I'm back. I've just watched a couple of minutes of the contrast paint videos, and it's exactly what... I mean, they are funny, yes. That's
Yeah, see, especially whenever they're in the viscosity lab and they're talking about one thick coat, and Duncan's there sitting there kind of
he's doing his
like,
two thin coats, and Peachy's next to him doing one thick coat, and he wins. Yeah.
Right. That was great. See, that's why you have to watch the video before you're like, well, they're doing this weird campaign. Well, you have to watch the video, then the campaign makes total sense.
Oh, it does. And I knew they were making a joke when they were doing it, but it's still... Yeah. I've spent how many decades doing two thin coats and learning how to thin my paints to the right viscosity with my own fucking lab, so that I can get exactly the result that I want. And now here they come. They go make a fucking paint that does it all for me in one slop. I mean, just dip it, shake it, varnish it. You're done.
The problem is that the dip and shake method's been out for 20 years.
Yes.
This isn't, like we were alluding to, this isn't something new to
No.
Games Workshop. This is the Minwax method of painting miniatures. For those who don't know, you get Minwax acrylic paint, or their varnish, which they do make an acrylic one. You can use the one with white spirits as well, but the acrylic one works just as good. and you basically thin it down until it's like hot maple syrup. You dip your miniature in there, you pull it out, you shake it a few times, and then you put it down and let the bitch dry. That's the dip method of painting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go later on and you add details, bada boom, bada bing, and all GW has done is kind of put it in a bottle. Which, is that a bad thing? No.
No,
It's
I mean,
not, because
like your girlfriend's
kinda-
going to be painting orcs. You don't want her there painting for the next 17 months to get one squad of orcs done.
Right.
With 2 bottles of green, she's done.
Right, and these are not something. Yeah, 2 bottles of green, a bottle of brown, a little bit of red. The red ones go faster.
Yeah.
And squigs are what's sold her on orcs. She
Yeah.
loves squigs. But
And you always want that one
honestly-
extra inch.
say again.
You always need that 1 extra inch.
Right. But is it a bad product? No. Games Workshop makes great paints. They really do, and I'll probably receive flack for this. GW makes great paints. Do I use GW paints? Yeah. Do I use all GW paints? No. Why? Because they are expensive. They are pricey. And they're very proprietary, and I don't like that.
I don't like their black. I don't like their white. I love their shades. I love their glazes. I still have some inks from 20 odd years ago that I still swear by. When Coat d'Arms were making their stuff, and yeah, they make good products. I hate the pots, and what they've done is with these, they've gone a size in between the little ones and the big ones, so they've got a medium-sized pot by the looks of it. So I reckon it's going to be a 17, 18 mil, so it'll be about the same amount of paint as you're getting in a dropper bottle. A scale 75 or a Vallejo is a 17 mil. And if they stick to the same price structure, I reckon they're going to be about £3.75, I think. Which is...
Yeah, that'd be about right.
What's that? Is that about $5-6?
Yeah.
Because the little ones are £2.50, the big ones are £5, and this will be smack in the middle at $3.75. I guess, you know, they're quite logical with their stuff. It's pricey, but it's logical. And I think, you know, I'll probably end up buying a few, not just to test and do some videos and things on it. I have a feeling that I'll use a few in my everyday painting, because they're pushing their new aerosol as well, two shades, a grey and a bone, a sort of tan colour, aren't they? And I think they're going to be trying to push the idea of what we've been doing of zenithal, a grey undercoat and a spritz of something brighter over the top, and then with
Windshield.
with these contrast paints, slap it on, and it'll do all the magic for you.
Here's my thing here's another thing that always made me scratch my head. People played out like zenithal highlighting is this big thing. We were doing it with rattle cans even before the airbrush craze for a hot ass time. Space and black, and then take the white fucking rattle can and spray it up real good from the upper areas. You don't want it real heavy. You just want it misted on there. Bada boom, bada bing, and you're good. I didn't understand where all of a sudden there's a lot of stuff that people have been catching. Oh, speaking of everyone starting to talk about, let's talk about artist opus. Let's give them the D, because at this point, that's all they're doing to their painters. Okay, I get their detail brushes. Are they good? From what I've seen, yeah, they're actually really nice. They got a nice flick to them. They do remind me of Series 7s. They're expensive, but I'll tell you what, and this is the honest fucking truth. If they do the quality assurance like the old school Series 7s, making sure that they're good brushes before they send them out, I'll pay that premium, because a good paintbrush will last me 6 months to a year, and I only use one with any regularity. So every 6 months, or a year, and now you're someone who paints every day, it might be every 3 months. But for $20, if you can knock out X number of months worth of painting out of a single brush, I think that's good. But the problem, but the thing is, we don't want the guessing game. Am I going to get a good brush? Am I going to get a shitty brush? Am I going to get a good brush? Am I going to get a shitty bruch?
Which is what we're getting with Series 7s at the minute.
Right. If I buy Artis Opus, which is rumored to either be Rosemary & Co. or Series 7 brushes, anyways, as long as if they act the exact same and I don't have I have to send them back 20-time issues, I'm good with that. I'll pay the extra $2 or $3. I think their synthetic line was dumb. Mm-hmm. And I think that their whatchamacallit was drastically, their dry brushes, oh God, I don't know whether to say that it was a dumb idea or the best idea ever.
Have you? You've watched the video I shot.
Well, I think it's a great idea to the simple fact of they do offer some dry brushes and shapes and consistencies that we normally don't see in dry brushes, because let's be truthful, most of our dry brushes are going to be our primary size brushes that have worn down, such as I use a size 3, so a lot of my dry brushes are size 3s that I can no longer get a good tip with. Yeah. Whereas, or if you splurge and buy a brush, you're getting like a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch that you've turned into a dry brush. Now, these are actually round brushes in a larger size, so is it a good thing? Possibly. I would buy one to test out, maybe like a medium-sized one to test out and see its validity as a dry brush. See, is it really better than the cheap ones that I do myself?
I mean, I've held one, and I didn't paint with it, but I did test the feel of it at Salute this year, and apart from the usual white handle that's a bit thicker than your normal brush, the brushes, the bristles are packed really tightly together, and Byron was telling me, and watch the video on Models Workshop's YouTube channel if you haven't already. He talks about the idea of the way we treat our dry brushes. We end up with this sort of frayed end with all the bristles folding in on themselves and crisscrossing.
Hey, look, red line.
And actually, what they've done with this is that the bristles push against each other and support each other, so you actually keep that same makeup brush shape, which tells me that
a makeup brush, though.
Exactly. And I've seen a set recently on Twitter somebody had, which looked almost identical, and I want to go and find them. I forget where he got them from.
£5 from Superdrug.
Basically, that sort of thing. But they're really, really dense. Soft fibres, but really, really dense. So that when you dampen it and get the paint on there and then brush it off, you're not destroying the end like we do. We beat our dry brushes up to shit, don't we? Like my brushes start out good, then they go to dry brush, then they go to paint stirrer.
That's what mine do too.
Yeah, and then sometimes after paint stirrer,
then PVA application,
and then snip it down and become parts of something. So
scenery.
Scenery they've always got to use. But it sounds like these guys start out as dry brushes and they will live a long time if what they're selling is what they're selling.
Mm.
And for snake oil, he did the good old snake oil salesman did a good job. I mean, I bought into the idea. I haven't spent money, not literally bought into the idea, but I'm sold on the concept. Having seen it up close.
Oh. Now, here's the thing. I watched the same video because you asked me to make sure that the comments weren't overly snarky, which they weren't. But the thing that I remember taking away from it was, I don't think so much was it he was a good snake oil salesman. The things that he was saying were valid. As someone who's been dry brushing for 25 years, the things that he was saying were completely and absolutely valid. And there's a couple ideas that he kicked out that I hadn't even thought of. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's true. So that's why I'm saying the D brushes are something that do warrant a look. The thing that kind of irritated me about the entire brushes was the fact that all of a sudden, all of these pros suddenly found the mystical art of dry brushing.
Yeah, no one does it until
I was
then.
like, right. And this is the thing I have to say. There's a few painters out there that I will not listen to a damn thing they have to say anymore. I really won't, because every time Artist Opus has come out with a product, they have done nothing but promote it and sell it, and it's the best thing ever. Even the synthetic
to
brushes.
discredit yourself.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's one of those things where you ask, you have to look at it. Is it a good product? Yeah, it has the possibility of being a good product. But what?
And can I just weigh in here? If any company out there wants to give me stuff and pay me to say that it's good, whether it is or not, I will take your money.
Yeah, I've got nothing to discredit, so ditto.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to get yourself fired, Peter.
From
Models Workshop.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because I don't think the restaurant I'm working at the minute really cares.
No, but here's the thing. It's with the caveat. Are the Artist Opus Series S, not your Series S, but the Series, whatever their real normal Kolinsky brushes are they good? Yes, but it has the caveat that they're expensive. They're good, but they're expensive.
Yeah, those are the Series S.
Doesn't matter. If price doesn't matter, then go buy them, because they equal out to pretty much the same quality as almost most other people. Same with the dry brush brushes. Do they really add all that much? Possibly, but they're expensive. Is it worth the extra money to get that slightly different reaction? If you're honestly just painting some tabletop stuff up, no, doesn't matter one bit. Don't buy them. But if you're looking at possibly adding some dry brushing into your competitive level painting, then yeah, you might want to actually look at them and try them out. Now, this is with me not touching them, but as a product reviewer and tester, I think it honestly warrants my time, and this is something that the synthetics did not. It warrants my time to actually look at them and see if some of their claims are true, and see if it actually does make a difference. They have me intrigued, and as a product reviewer, that's actually a pretty big vote of confidence in the very first, just getting their product on my desk. And it's intrigued me enough that I'll buy one to test out, to go, hey guys, this actually is the best thing since Betty White. Or, no, this really sucks and it's really just a dumb oversold idea. Now, honestly, I'm going to say I think it's probably going to be a decent product, because here's the thing. They're fucking makeup brushes in miniature. And they've got $1,000 makeup brushes out there for the same reason. Highly packed together, dense, good quality hair. That's Series D in a nutshell. They're miniature makeup brushes. Now, here's something that I'm going to do. I'm going to take the D, and I'm going to go out and buy some.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be paying for it, so yeah, I probably am going to take the D. But I'm going to take the D series brushes, and I'm going to go out and buy a mid-range makeup brush of approximately the same size, and I'm going to put them up against each other. And I'm going to go, okay, these guys, these are makeup brushes. Just go to the makeup section and find a brush that's approximately the same size and just use it. They do warrant a look, but I think we're going to be able to find cheaper alternatives.
I agree.
But also, like I said, there's $1,000 makeup brushes out there. There's makeup brushes out there that blow our shit in the miniature painting community way the hell out of the market. So maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll use it, and the next closest thing in the makeup world is going to be this $60 brush, and I'll be like, guys, the Series D brush is worth using. But
yeah, I'm trying to remember where I saw. It was either on Twitter or one of the many Facebook groups I'm in, where somebody found in a UK shop something like Wilko's or Superdrug, and it was a set of, I think, 5 or 6 small, round, tufted makeup brushes that looked really dense.
Was it like Rabbit Dog?
Any makeup
Was it
brush,
Rabbit
dude.
Dog? Maybe it was on
Yeah,
Instagram.
he shared some. He said I can get some fancy schmancy brushes, or I can just buy these from Superdrug.
Dude,
There you go.
every makeup brush. My daughter is into makeup. My oldest daughter is really high end into makeup. She has these $300, $400 palettes.
Right.
She's really into makeup. I will tell you, when I heard the description for the Series D brushes, the first thing that triggered in my mind was my daughter talking about her makeup brushes. Like, instantly, boom. I was like, that sounds like makeup brushes. Because think about what you do with makeup. You put a little bit on, and then you blend it. What do you do with dry brushing? You put a little bit on, and then you blend it. Except it's slightly different. They're blending across a smooth surface. With the dry brush, you're blending across raised edges. That's why I'm saying I'm probably going to borrow one of her old brushes and test it. Because instantly alarm bells are like, these are makeup brushes. These are makeup brushes.
I'm just having a look on Net-a-Porter online at a £453 9-brush set from by a company called Artist Brush. Not Artist Opus, just Artist Brush. And they don't look anything like them, but it just amused the hell out of me. Yeah.
Well, if the rumors are true, and I've heard multiple things, Artist Opus is either Series 7 or Rosemary and Company.
Well, they're made in the UK, whatever they are.
That's something you should have asked.
I did.
Both of those are... You asked what company made their brushes?
Yes, and he looked at me and says, I'm not fucking telling you. He said, "What I will tell you, they're made in England. I'm not going to tell you anything else." And I said, "Look, one of these days, I am going to get you to say the word rosemary." And his face sort of went deadpan, like.
Well, he wouldn't even tell you what the brushes were made out of.
Oh, not for the Ds, but just the for the Series S.
Well, from an insider in the brush community, I will say that I heard that they're made by Rosemary and Company.
Yeah, they're custom 33s. I'm almost 100% on that.
I've heard from people who use 33s nonstop. They said that it feels and acts just like their 33s, which that means are Series 33s Kolinsky or are they red? I thought they were red.
No, the 33s are Kolinsky.
Okay, so I heard from one dude that uses Series 33s exclusively that the Artist Opus brushes are 33s. I've heard that from a person that makes brushes. I've heard from a person who used to make brushes that they're Series 33. So I have someone that uses 33s nonstop and someone who is inside the industry say they're 33s. I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're Series 33s. Maybe they have a higher quality control on them. Maybe they have something that makes them... But I've also heard people say that they act more like Series 7s, which I've heard 33s are just a hair below 33s. So...
Well, at some point I'm going to get some 33s and an S or two. I'm going to get some makeup brushes and a few Ds.
There you go.
Yeah.
You need something nowadays because
Gotta get it in your life, man.
It's really odd for you to say
in your
that.
life one way or another.
Why?
Hey, I don't know. Her wife smiles an awful lot.
Oh, yeah.
And just think about it.
She happy.
If she's score one day, she can just downgrade a little bit. If she's feeling adventurous, she can upgrade.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Chloe, let's take it up a size. All right.
Giggity go. Well, that went south. Anyway.
Oh, literally, yeah.
Don't mention the deep here. You get Larry excited.
He really does get excited, doesn't he? Yeah.
It's the military in him.
Speaking... Right. Hey, I wasn't Navy, damn it.
And how much military was in him?
My point exactly.
Hey. Don't ask, don't tell. Oh, so the funny thing, have you seen the prank they got that happened here in the United States?
Reference.
No.
Senior prank.
No.
Oh my God. You can find this shit on the internet, of course, but you can find everything on the internet, which is scary in and of itself. These seniors snuck into their high school and used like JB Weld or some crazy shit and glued a 3-foot tall, God knows how big around dildo a fucking floor at the main entrance of the school.
Where do they even buy that? What the fuck?
Dude, yeah, it's like, where the hell do you get a 3-foot tall, big as a fucking coffee can dildo?
I bet they Googled it.
They had to have Googled it. I don't think that's the type of shit you buy off of Adam and Eve.
Maybe Amazon.
You can get a hell of a lot on Amazon.
They sell everything on Amazon.
So, Peter, where do you get a 3-foot tall dildo from?
Amazon, obviously.
He's like, come look at my shop line. You'll find them there.
Don't look at his search history.
Yeah.
Under
the low.
Affiliate links will be provided below.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
Nope.
No, I can't.
Sell it under the Lonely Man brand.
Yeah.
Aww. It's okay, dude.
It's fine. I have my Lego.
Call that one the cannon pounder.
Oh God. I don't know where to go from here.
Hey, you know what?
To hell.
I did really well on the dog episode. I feel that... speaking of that, I ended up buying... girlfriend and I both got a set of the kitty cats.
Okay. Yeah, I got one set of the cats.
I did not.
I like the exclusive. I'll probably get rid of the rest.
I like them all, actually.
It did not.
I don't like cats, but I like the Necromeouncer.
The Necromeouncer. Oh, okay. Do you know what someone who's a Nico is? Which is why Necromancer makes sense. Did I explain this?
You did.
Yeah, the weird girls who dress up as cats. Well, not weird, but, you know.
Nico girls. I finally got my pin in it, and holy shit, it looks so much better. So, completely unsponsored, completely... they didn't pay me a damn thing. I bought something from them, and this is why I'm giving them a shout-out. But, T-Villain, if you're ever wondering about going and buying one of their enamel pins, freaking gorgeous. Absolutely worth it. It looks great. They are a little expensive, but really, really nice pin, really good quality. The only bad thing I'll say is that it did take a while to get it in. Like, there was a delay, but they kept us informed about the delay. They were like, hey, guys, we're running into a manufacturing issue. And as a thank you, here's a $5 off code.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they were totally cool about it. It did take a little bit longer to get in than I was expecting it to.
How much is an enamel pin if you're getting $5 off?
It was 14 plus shipping.
Christ.
There wasn't at the time. I just didn't have the extra cash to qualify up for free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bought the one, and I just thought it was cool as shit. And the girlfriend loves cats, so I thought she got a giggle out of the Necomancer. But it was like $17 for everything, including shipping. But this isn't like, well, I was really worried about how big it was going to be because, enamel pins can be anything from a half inch to like huge. But it turned out it was a nice, solid quality 2-inch tall enamel pin, really high quality, really good enamel, really well enameled. So, and it's a solid metal, hard one. It's not a soft one.
Yeah.
Well, that'll look really good on your necktie.
Or on my hat. And honestly, okay, so here's the thing. As an enamel pin collector, I've learned a few things. One, enamel pins are actually quite expensive to make. How do I know this? I've actually looked into getting Models Workshop enamel pins made. They're not cheap. They really, really are not. They cost, on average, $10 a pop to manufacture if you get them in batches of under obscene. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those deals where they're not cheap. They're not, in a nutshell, they're not cheap to make.
Mm.
I've got my Is It one next to me, but that's mass produced, so I presume that would be a lot cheaper.
Exactly. I own all 10 of those. Okay, so basically, like, I actually scratch my head as to how Pokemon puts them into their kits. Mm. Because, and if you notice, the pins are becoming rarer and rarer in the Pokemon packages. Usually nowadays, only the bigger ones have enamel pins in them.
Yeah.
And also...
Oh yeah, I'm totally noticing that.
They also... They also produce these in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands. And at that point, they get cheaper. And these are actually lesser quality enamel pins, whereas the collector ones that you get and the higher end ones that you get and can order, those are usually much finer, much better detail, much better. The enamel's poured in better. So, talk about going completely off topic.
No, this sort of goes back to what we started the chat with. Is there anything that you don't collect?
Told you.
Because I also know that you collect stickers.
Huh?
You collect stickers for interesting things as well.
Stickers of other painting? No. Okay, kind of.
Nah.
Nailed it.
I don't pay. No. I won't pay for stickers though.
No, you collect freebie stickers.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I didn't say you have to pay for it.
And almost every one of my freebie stickers that I have is of a painter or maybe a brand that I like. Like I have several Rockstar stickers because I like Rockstar, and most of my other stickers that I have are all miniature painting people that I have and I support.
Rockstar as in Rockstar Games.
Rockstar as in the energy drink.
Other dangerous drinks are available.
I usually don't drink them much anymore, but yeah, I'm talking the energy drinks.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I know it. Yeah, for some reason I thought you were talking Rockstar Games as in...
Alright, what does Larry collect? Larry collects... apparently board games now, because I have way too many board games. I collect busts, I collect enamel pins, I collect some pop vinyls. Like, hey, at least I'm not bad and collect stuff like Lego minis.
I got an Ursula today from the new Disney set.
There's nothing wrong with Lego minis.
Hold up. I know there is, and I want I want that damn Lego Falcon, Millennium Falcon, like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I've got 2, so you know.
You've got 2?
Yeah.
That's a $700 fucking model.
Well, yeah, I dropped about 1,100 quid.
That's about $1,700.
You spent $1,000 on magic cards last week.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Have you seen the new Stranger Things set that came out last
I have.
week?
I'm not really. I haven't actually watched the TV series, so I don't.
You are missing out.
I know. I've had so much to watch.
Second season was decent. First season was exceptional.
First season was the
watch
best.
them.
Yeah.
I do need to
The
watch.
first season was like exceptional in a way that you're just like, wow, where the hell did they come up with this? And can I get some more, please?
Yeah, the set looks cool, but
Yeah, and you can flip
I've
it
got no
upside
room
down.
for
No. And do you know what? I had a VIP ticket to go to Leicester Square.
Me too.
And I forgot to go, and I'm glad I forgot to go because the queues were there until about 7 in the morning.
It's just a bit fucking far away from me. Like I just can't be asked.
Well, it's about 20 minutes on the train for me, but
Yeah, it's about an hour.
You know, I
got into Leicester Square.
I may make fun of the Lego thing, but in all seriousness, I've went to multiple Lego conventions. I've been to more Lego conventions
I know you have.
than I have miniature painting conventions in
Me
recent
too.
history.
It's because I rock.
They do, but honestly though, so I went to the Indy one twice, and after the second year, it was a lot of the same stuff. Then I went to the Dayton one, and the Dayton was actually a completely different flavor of Lego convention. Like one was Brick World and one was an actual Lego thing. So you got to see both sides of it, which was really cool. But I will say, and it's the same with miniature painting, though. I have noticed. Like, I went to Adepticon 2 years in a row, and this year it was more about hanging out with friends than it was going and doing anything on the actual shop floor.
well, that's an important part of it. I mean, your gaming experience or your modeling experience is a social thing. So, yeah, you're paying whatever your ticket was to get into Adepticon, but you were there to meet people, to put actual faces to noises that you finally you met Yeji, your online wife. Right. You've been not married to her for 8 years?
Right, and we just finally met.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is, in all honesty, I've met a lot of those people before. So that wasn't new. It was actually getting to go there and hang out with them. That was the best part. And, like, my Adepticon this year sucked. I strained my back really bad, and then on the last day, I had food poisoning or something. All I know is I was throwing up everywhere and no one else was. And even my girlfriend was like, I could tell you're sick. And I was like, why? She's like, you let me drive all the way home from Chicago, and you didn't say a fucking word. I didn't either. I was curled up in the passenger seat, fucking dying.
And are you normally a really, really bad passenger?
Yes. I normally am a horrible backseater, passenger seat driver. So, like,
Noted.
her going, I know you were sick because you didn't say a damn word. But yeah, so that was mine. Like, the first day I went out, and we went out as a group, and it was kind of our little clique in some way or fashion. But it was a small group of us. We went out, and that was the one day that I had a lot of fun. Even when Yeji and I went out, I was starting to feel kind of bad. So it was like, eh. And then by like day 3, I was fucking done. I went out to I told several people, it's like, hey, I'll do interviews with you. And I felt so bad that I didn't even go back out on the floor. The Brian, he's a Brian from, it's funny enough, y'all remember whenever we had the big issue with, or I and Yeji and I had the big issue with Damn it! What is that company? They make the bus. They made the Naughty Gears.
Kingdom Death?
No.
Creaturecaster?
Oh, no. Funny enough, they're set up right next to Creaturecaster. Big company. They did multiple Kickstarters. They have their own paint line now. They have
Scale 75?
Yes. Actually, they started off with a paint line. But okay, so Yeji, for those who don't know, Yeji and I wrote an article. Apparently, it got the attention of Scale 75 really quick. It wasn't a very nice article. And things were said that got Larry on the phone and Larry very angry. But we ended up working everything out, and actually we did. We have noticed that their marketing department has gotten a little bit less cringy in the last.
Oh God, yes, no, I remember this. Yes.
So it was on. Okay, basically what it was
this
Scale 75 got popped for borrowing heavily other people's concepts.
Yes, I remember this.
And
one.
then they started off on the anti-piracy campaign, and we called them a bunch of hypocrites. And Scale 75 responded, and their initial response wasn't very nice.
No, it was like, Paul, we'll sue you.
Yeah, that was basically what it was. Or we'll take legal action. They never did. They never did say the S word, but they did say we'll have to explore our options. And I was like, okay.
What are your options? Are you going to rewrite history?
Anyways, in a nutshell, it opened up conversation between the two of us, and we were able to sit down. They explained what they had done, and they weren't very vocal about it, which I think was their first mistake. I think they should have, and they did issue an apology, which is what we asked for. It's for them to explain themselves and not really say they're sorry, but just explain themselves, which they did. And it worked everything out. Like, we were actually doing some work with Scale 75. We've got some of their paints. We've been looking at their models. They have taken, and this is the one thing that I will give props to Scale 75. They took, after the yelling was done between Brian and I, he took what we had to say, the negative stuff, all of the negative stuff. He took it, he looked at it, and honestly, changes were made. Stuff was changed.
Yeah, I mean, they came out with, although they didn't really own the original stuff. They said, we started out and it was a little grey area kind of stuff that we were doing, but we've evolved, we've learnt, we've got better.
Right, and even then they've also said, I talked to them in detail about their marketing on their Kickstarters, how it was super cringy, how I know a half a dozen of people within my circles that canceled their pledge after they actually read the wording on the Kickstarter itself.
It's gross.
Here's a resin model, and if you paint it right, it might fuck you.
Pretty much.
There was that one, and then there was their actually naughty bone or their naughty gears, which were written up like really cringy bad. And so they owned up to it. They said, hey, when we first started off, there was some of the stuff that we were doing. We screwed up, and we wanted to we paid some people for their work after the fact, which they said that they rectified their mistake and paid the people out that they owed money to. And some of their models they completely discontinued from the get-go because either an agreement could be made or it was something that should not have been done. And they've also revamped their how they do sculpts and their sculptures too, because I guess they did put the blame on a couple of them on their sculptor. They said they weren't aware that it was. I guess it was something that they had bought it was a contract. There we go. It was a contract employee, and they didn't realize that it mimicked something that was already on the market so close.
Right.
And so they discontinued that model. I guess there's a couple models that Scale 75 made that are ridiculously rare now because they were discontinued pretty quick. So, but in a nutshell, they're making steps to be a better company, and that's all we actually asked for. It was for them to explain the shit that happened in the beginning and how they're going to fix it, and they came forward and actually did it. Like, to the point that even Yeji is satisfied. And I don't know if you've ever seen a pissed off Asian woman. That's saying something.
I've heard one.
Yeah, so have I.
That was the first podcast I ever heard.
She's angry.
But after this entire little sidetrack, basically the one person that saved my ass at Adepticon was Brian from Scale 75, their U.S. manager, because he actually had medicine for some medicine for my back that he ended up giving me, and that it made the second half of the second day even make it where I could stand. So shout out to him. He did me a good props, and hopefully you'll be seeing more stuff. Hopefully you'll be seeing stuff in general coming out from me, period. Yeah, I know, I'm a slacker.
Well, what I want now is an old school Scale 75 description of Larry.
Old school.
Like reverse cowgirl Larry prefers ...
Ooh, reverse cowgirl Larry will rush into your dreams like a stallion to lay down the thumper upon your bed sheets, making them soak like ocean.
Oh, God.
$75. Perfect.
Just stop. Wow. Where do I put my money?
I don't think anything else needs to be said.
I think it's been covered all there, yeah. Thanks.
And end the podcast.
It's definitely going to be covered, that's for sure.
Oh, everywhere.
That's what she said.
Okay, so I'm hoping that if there's anybody listening who likes sketching, please post your pictures of Reverse Cowgirl Larry to the Twitter feed at Models Work. No, what was it? MWAH Podcast. Or the Instagram, which is, I'm guessing, the same.
Yeah, NWH Podcast for Instagram, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, please post pictures and tag Larry in any sketches you have.
Yeah, reverse cowgirl Larry riding in on his big stallion of love. Or no, reverse cowgirl Larry, the stallion of love.
There you go.
Hold up a second. Is the stallion the one that has ball slips?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, reverse cowgirl Larry on the gelding of love.
Call me the unsullied of love.
This went off tangent a lot.
Well, yeah, let's bring it back.
It's normal.
No, I mean, it's not that tangenty. I mean, this was just a sort of fan fiction of
Larry
a Scale
is here.
75 thing.
Larry is here.
They're going to release a new model now, and you'll be like, whoa, where did you get that idea? And it'll be you. Then
and then you're going to
have a chat with them.
have a chat with them and open up some options.
Show your options.
My anaconda don't want... Okay. My stallion don't want none unless you got resin on.
Look at that Forge World. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh my God, Chloe. Look at that bust. It's like so big. It looks like one of those paint guys.
It's ridiculous.
Oh. It's redonkulous, Chloe. It's redonkulous.
You know that you're going somewhere odd when I've now face-palmed maybe more than twice.
You can't facepalm. It's a
Hey.
podcast.
I can do what I want, thanks.
No, you can't.
Oh.
Hey, at least there's a little bit of excitement going on.
Yeah, it does beat
Not
us just
that-
chatting shit here. To be fair.
It's the Peter and Chloe show.
Yeah.
Well, the nice, gentle, chatty, polite
Hi,
people.
guys. Yeah.
Hello, this is what's new this week.
Don't know. We get a bit angry when we talk about boobs, but apart from that, yeah, we are pretty boring.
On a completely different tangent, I got a lovely review at the restaurant that I'm working at. Actually, the restaurant got the review, but I got mentioned in it.
Got mentioned in it.
I got mentioned on a TripAdvisor review. That
Tell
somebody
him what
left.
they called you.
I'm going to. So.
Aren't you just like the busboy or something?
No. So, yeah. I'm a front of house. I run the floor.
You run the floor?
Yeah,
Is that why it caught on fire?
that's funny. Yeah, I literally run up and down with plates and ketchup. And they said they were made to feel very special. The waiting staff were exceptionally good, especially the young blonde lady and the jolly man.
The jolly man. Oh, yeah.
As in,
Are you sure they weren't talking about someone else?
oh, there isn't another fat old person there, so no, the jolly man is clearly only me.
No. The only thing I've ever heard of as being jolly was Batman.
Yes. I'm Father Christmas. In this, I'm jolly. Yeah. Or I'm not green. I'm not a giant.
You are a bit of a hoe, though.
Pardon me?
You know, ho, 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 green giant.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't know where you were going with that. Yeah, so I'm officially the jolly man because I'm also the only male waiter there. Yep.
Buddy, I think jolly means something else.
Yeah. It's the fat guy that brought us tartar sauce was quite amusing. I think was what they meant to say, and they wanted to be polite, so they called me a jolly man. At least they realised I was a man.
I think they were trying to.
So, yeah, hopefully nobody from that restaurant will be listening to this podcast, and I'm pretty guaranteed that's that they won't. But, yeah, I'm not going to be there that long. God, I hope not. Because I'm going to lose weight, and I'm going to be not jolly anymore, I'm just going to be the sarcastic thin guy. I think Larry has disappeared again. Has Chloe disappeared again? Am I just talking to myself? Hello. Have you come back?
I was talking to you. I just don't know why it didn't come through.
Nothing came through. I was talking to myself and Larry's disappeared. Larry's paused it. Why has Larry paused it?
Probably talking. Or he's like got the
he's-
van or something.
He's doing work stuff on with the truck. But hi, so we can now talk.
Yes.
Yeah, what were you saying about me being jolly or thin or sarcastic or what?
No, I just said then you'll be the sarcastic bloke. But you said it anyway.
I did. Oh, well, great minds think alike. So what's on your table this week? What are you working on?
The last of my original Marines. And some Hellboy stuff.
Oh, go ahead and wrap up. He's just messaging. Just got a phone call. It's all right, Larry. We don't need to wrap up. We can carry on talking without you. So you're doing the last of your purple and and is it purple and yellow, purple and cream?
Black. Purple and black.
Purple and black. See,
Yeah.
I pay attention.
Of course.
Yeah, at least half of it is purple.
You got
Have
one
you-
colour, right?
Yeah. So what? That's how many squads have you got of that now?
Oh, I think I got about 4,000 points worth.
Well, that's all right to get going with.
Of a whole army, yeah. So I'm going to do the rest of the stuff I've got, which will probably be about the same again by the time I get the rest of Conquest. And I've got Shadow Spear too, in the new style,
Right.
because I was getting bored of painting black and purple.
Oh, I don't blame you. So have you come up with? Are you going to do an established chapter for the rest of it, or are you going to make up your own again?
No, I'm going to make up my own. I'm going to link them a little bit, but not much.
Nice.
So there'll be like a little bit of purple on there, but not a lot. Because I want to still be able to play with them both, like I said before, but yeah, I just want to change. It's
Well-
getting bored.
You can't live the rest of your life just doing purple and black.
Nah,
No.
not. I think they're at a good point now where I've got enough different variety of squads to play them both separately, and I can go for more of a kind of stealth version with the new army, which will work quite well.
Nice. Just spray them all black.
Yeah, camouflage done.
Done. They work at night.
All done. Be easy.
So
Yeah, got some Hellboy tokens out as well.
are you doing the tokens first?
Yeah, she's not been painting for a while, but she just said yesterday after we did the demo game, do you want to paint the tokens? As in, like, the clue tokens, the trackers, all those kind of little bits that you get.
Are they the
with
coins?
Kickstarter.
The little
Yeah,
coins with
coin
a
ones, yeah.
yeah.
The fist on them, yeah.
Yeah.
So the coins, the clue markers. I've also got a shitload of furniture, but I haven't started that yet.
Well, from seeing what some other people have done online with some of the terrain crate stuff from Mantic, which is basically going to be the same stuff, or the same style at least. Spraying, washing, dry brushing, old school 3-step.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing with the other stuff.
Yeah, but it works really well on it. There's plenty of texture.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need. I mean,
It's
only
only
going to be
terrain.
used as it's a gaming piece. It's not going to be on display, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm sort of half wishing I'd bought some of the terrain or the doors and things, because I've only got the cardboard punch-out doors.
Yeah, so we still get them in the Kickstarter, though, don't we? So I'm going to replace them with the actual doors at some point.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's really
it
pretty.
annoyed me because there was nothing written in the instructions. I haven't actually...
Yes. I had to find them again yesterday. I had to find that picture you sent me because I didn't have a fucking clue which one was which. It took us 20 minutes to figure out what token was what.
They
And I was
could
like,
have
why can't they
just
just
put
put
a
a
photocopy.
Kickstarter edition in there?
Yeah. Or put a photocopy saying, here, check out this web link.
Yeah.
Some kind of notice where you don't have to troll the internet and find a question that's been asked 1 million times. It was so annoying. And it was... What was it for? It was in the regular version. There's some cardboard.
Yeah, so the clue markers.
The clue markers, and those are
Inferno.
yes, those are now little miniatures, which is like the book and
Nazi, a candle,
Yeah.
scroll, vase, all these little things. We didn't realise what they were because obviously they're completely different to the actual clue marker in the retail.
yeah.
And then the Inferno markers kind of were self-explanatory because they're literally fucking fire, so that's fine.
Oh, the little orange little plastic fires. Yeah, that's fine.
What else is there? The impending doom is the fist, of course.
Yes, yeah.
The tracker is the book.
Yeah, it was the impending doom that I must have spent half an hour.
And you realise it's the fist, and you're like,
I think I spent half an hour looking for it in the box, getting really angry, and because I'd set up an overhead camera to film the tutorial as a playthrough and setting it up and doing all this. And by the time I got to that point, this was like 2 weeks ago, I took the camera down the other day. I was just like, I'm not bothering anymore. I'm going to, now that I've figured out what these pieces are, I'm just going to sit down and play the damn thing without putting it online. There are enough playthroughs. I'm not going to bring anything new to the table.
Yeah, it's not bad though. First time through. It's quite hard to follow the rules. I think we're going to watch the tutorial video and then play along with it, because I think it'd be easier than trying to go back and figure out what's going on.
That's a good idea.
Because it just I think we've got it down, but there's a few things that I don't think we're doing quite right, like the priorities. That we haven't got that yet. Just like we mug it off in Warhammer with the leadership roles. But yeah, we're gonna watch the video, I think, and then hopefully that will explain it better, and then we can start actually doing the proper case files, because we're just on the tutorial one at the minute.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't actually opened the tutorial case file yet, because I don't want to get it mixed up or put it in the wrong order, or accidentally see the other side of a thing, because it says when you pick it up, you must make sure to pick up the whole thing at once, so you don't, spoilers. Yeah,
we've like got loads of card sleeves for the whole set, so everything's protected, and then I've got some separate kind of holders for the case files when they come out.
Can you get sort of card sleeves for the little tiny cards then?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the same size as the ones in Zombicide.
Right.
So I just went online and got more of them.
Fair enough.
And the large cards are the same as poker cards on Magic the Gathering, so you can just buy normal card sleeves for them.
Like the
see-through
Ultra Pro ones.
Yeah, so you can get like a pack of 100 for $5 or so for clear ones, good quality clear ones. And you can see obviously through the back then, so you can see what deck it is and Hand of Doom and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The Doom deck.
Yes, because what I don't want is to damage the cards.
Yeah, it's worth doing.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of playthroughs there is, because it probably be using it quite a lot, so it's not worth damaging it when we spent so much money on it.
Absolutely, and because I'm going to be playing
massive box it comes in.
Probably be playing this with the kids as well, so they are clumsy and they are not
sticky hands.
Oh God! I mean, they've painted a couple of the figures.
Yeah.
They managed to bully me into letting them paint some of the things. I thought, well, I said, Daddy, can I paint Hellboy? No, fuck off. No, you cannot paint Hellboy. You can paint one of the. I said you can paint one of the agents. Not knowing exactly what was in there. So delving through the trays of everything, I found like the bottom one is filled with loads of Nazis.
Yeah.
And so I gave them each one of these, and they've basically just slopped. Not slopped, because I was supervising them, teaching them how to thin their paints down to one thin coat. And they've painted them one shade of black. With... And they said, well, we want to paint yellow on it now. Okay. You know, you won't get yellow on black. You're going to get very angry. So let's go up to a light grey that'll cover it with a bit. So teaching them about moving up and down in steps to shade things. They paint them as fucking Batman. So you've got these two Nazi guys. Nazi Batmans. Amazing. So yeah, it's you got this guy. He's wielding a knife. He's got his little SS hat on, and he's got a yellow utility belt. And on the base, he's painted what looks like the Bat logo. So that's and both of them have done it. Except the one of them spent a lot more time on the face. That's good. He's painted the glasses in, and he's done a little Bat logo on the chest.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they've done that. They've one of them did a werewolf, and they've also broken into my Dungeons and Doggies.
Of course they have.
Daddy, can you buy us a Hellboy? No, they're not available separately. Daddy, can you buy us a Cornelius? No, you can buy them as a fucking set. And I'm not spending another 30 quid on two little mini sets.
Nope.
Just so you can have a golden retriever.
But they're so cute, though.
Yeah. But Daddy, you painted the metal one last year. Can I paint the plastic one?
Why do you have to have all the fun, Daddy?
Yeah. So, I said, but if you paint the plastic one, what's he going to paint? Oh, yeah. Can you get another one? No, I fucking can't.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
So, yeah, actually, the 8-year-old painted Cornelius, and the 7-year-old painted, I forget which one. One of the others, and they both look really good. Such a good job for, they don't paint that often.
That's cool.
And they have zero hand-to-eye coordination. And, so I'm basically now going through the entire flat, trying to find things I can't be asked to paint that I can give to them to keep them occupied when they want to paint.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I've painted from the Hellboy set. I've painted Hellboy, the exclusive, the alternative sculpt of him with the full horns.
Yeah.
I've painted Hellboy Pancakes, which is super cute.
Yeah, I want to paint him.
And I went with I'm trying to do them all in slightly different styles, because Pancakes it's got that real sort of comic book look about it.
Yeah, I've been trying to paint all the clues and stuff as like a very comic-y type style.
Like almost cel-shaded.
And get it really bold and bright, which is cool because all my Warhammer stuff's generally quite blendy and dull.
and as realistic as you can get for a small plastic toy soldier.
Exactly.
Yeah, likewise. So I think my main figures are going to be sort of on the realistic, proper painty style, and then some of the more comedy ones are going to be more sort of single colour ink edges and sort of and bright poppy kind of stuff with it.
Yeah.
I've done him and Pancakes. I'm halfway through Liz. I'm trying to decide what colour scheme I'm doing for her because she's got dark hair. I've given her a grey leather jacket and black jeans, with maybe a bit of a blue tint. Looking at somebody else's painting of it, she's wearing a beige leather jacket, and I don't like that. And then I can't wait to actually get to some of the stupid stuff. Like I've sprayed all the big things: the Baba Yaga, the gorilla.
Oh, I really want to do the worm. That looks fucking cool.
Oh, the worm! Yeah, that took a fair amount of primer.
Yeah, I need to get some dark grey. Yeah, that's really good.
What's annoying,
the big models
though,
look fantastic.
Do you know what? Even some of the big ones, but some of the little ones, they wobble.
Yes, the bases are not very stable.
They are not very stable, so I think...
I'm going to rebase.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm going to sand.
Well, the ones like... what's the big monkey dude called? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he...
Gorilla Grodd.
He's like really unstable, but I can probably cut him off alright because he's got feet, whereas the worm not so much.
Now the worm is one solid thing that's basically going to need a belt sander.
Yeah, I'll just sand that down.
But yeah, I mean, when you're playing them, you're meant to stick them in those little red token ring things.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I don't yet understand why you would do that, because I haven't got that far.
No, it's not too bad, because then that's your priority marker.
Okay.
So that's what I've got to still figure out, because I'm looking it off.
Fair enough. Yeah, I need to... Because I'm going to learn it as a single-player game, because... Situation.
Yeah, fair enough. Situation, yeah.
And then teach it to two small children, whose mum messaged me a couple of weeks ago after they painted... their first figures, and said, Hellboy? Yes. The board game. I'm not showing them the comics, I'm not showing them the movies. Tonight she sat with them and watched the Meg.
Oh, because that's definitely age appropriate.
Completely.
But cool.
I think it's fine, actually. There's no bad language. It's a dinosaur shark. There's a little bit of gore. But, frankly, what they've seen the dog doing around the house, they'll be fine.
Well, currently, yeah, you pissed him off.
I didn't do anything. He
allowed it. He looks at you and thinks you've betrayed him. That's how they work, unfortunately.
Yeah. At least he's not going to go and shout loudly and melt my chair.
Rianne put eardrops in the dog the other day, and the dog looked at me like I just spat in its face. Like, how did you allow this to happen to me? Fuck
Amazing.
You. I was like, well, what? I wasn't even here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, they don't care. They just, yeah, that's how they roll.
So your dog knows that that it's your dog. In that case,
What do you mean?
You're the master.
Well, I hope so.
You're its alpha, and not Rianne.
Illusionary, yeah, because like she's totally got us wrapped around her little finger. But yeah, we can believe that. We can go with that.
Bloody dogs.
I know, the buggers.
And all you end up, you feed them, you clean up after them, you shave them every now and then, you put eardrops in them.
We are the slaves. This is the real. It's just anyone who thinks otherwise is a moron.
Yeah.
The dogs rule.
And they sit on their little sofa, and like I said earlier, I don't know if it was on the recording or before, and because he's in a bit of pain or irritation from the haircut, the missus goes and, I don't know what to call her. She's not my wife anymore, but she still is.
The ex?
She's not, though. Not officially.
She is the ex, though.
Is she the ex?
Are you together?
I suppose not. Yeah, she's the ex.
Then you're the ex. Yeah.
It doesn't
fine.
sound right.
She's not your ex-wife yet because you're not divorced, but she's your ex.
Oh, I see the nuance.
Yes.
Yeah.
We there?
Okay. Fine. So yeah, her indoors.
That one.
That one. She put his water bowl up on the coffee table so he could reach it, so he didn't have to climb down from his sofa. And put his food bowl on the sofa, so he could just.
I'm telling you, we're absolute slaves.
Completely.
It's good that I don't mind.
Yeah. And rather than doing any research into it and finding out what could be the problem, she, on her day off, tomorrow's my day off, and guess who gets to take him to the vet?
You?
Yeah. You fucking idiot.
Because why wouldn't you?
Because I've got nothing better to do.
Of course. Like paint Hellboy? Or
learn to play Hellboy, or
that'd be nice.
Maybe finish some commission work, which I've just left untouched for 2 months. Oops. Well, he's not in a rush for it.
No shit.
And actually, I've got so much other stuff. I've just primed up I stripped and reprimed a bunch of 48th scale RAF ground crew.
Yeah.
World War II ground crew for my Spitfire. Because in September I'm going to be teaching a class of painting figures for scale modelers, because traditionally people who build tanks and planes are scared. They don't like touching figures. They think it's a dark art. So I'm going to spend a day showing them that it's not that big a deal.
That'll be fine.
But I thought I should try and get back into that genre, because I don't think they give a fuck about blending green cloaks and zenithal lighting on purple and black Space Marines.
Not really.
Not
Just
really.
give it an undercoat and some highlights and you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been sort of semi-sponsored by a company that does, the Luft 46.
Yes.
Idea of, the war never finished, and this is how World War II could have carried on. This guy's got Luftkrieg 1919. So it's World War One, as if it never finished, and famous figures from history from just around that time or just after. So there's Amelia Earhart as part of the war.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. So one of his figures, I don't know if it's one of the Luft figures or just a generic guy in the war, and it's 32nd scale to go with the slightly larger aeroplanes. And it's quite good because I don't know, we've got a class of maximum 20 people, I think. I know we've got one person booked on. I don't know if anybody else. It might be a day of me teaching one-to-one painting, and by the end of the day, the guy will know literally everything I do. But hopefully we'll have a bigger class, and whoever's in there is going to be getting one of these guys. Who's got he's got bandages over his eyes. There are loads of details that we can work with textures and show them how not to be scared.
That's cool.
But it's a good enough size. It's a bit, it's bigger than 28mm, way bigger than 28mm.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more of the almost as big as 75mm. Maybe a bit shorter.
It's going to be beast.
Yeah, but we don't have to finish it in the day. It's just a case of here are things that you can work on, and if there's a large enough canvas to work on, they can then take those techniques and bring them down to the 72nd scale stuff they normally work on and say, hey, do you know what? I don't need to be scared of that because I don't need to paint the eyes on something that's only 5mm tall. Did you just take the microphone to the toilet with you?
Nope.
Thank God for that. What was that noise?
Filling up water from my fridge.
Your fridge fills water?
Yeah, it's got a water dispenser in the front.
Amazing. Mine has a wobbly leg.
It was my only thing when we moved into the house. Can I have a fridge with a water dispenser?
So does that mean it's plumbed in?
Yeah.
God. Does it have the ice maker on it then?
There's like a separate thing in the freezer, yeah.
That's plumbed in that makes ice?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted one of those when I was a kid. My parents loved.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's totally not worth the extra money you've got to pay, but it's cool. That's what happens when two immature adults move into a house together.
That's basically all of our generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, actually, at work, the head chef he's only a couple of years older than me, and he acts like he's 20 years older than me. He's just of a different generation. It's so weird. So weird. I looked at the bus.
It's like my work.
The bus went by and it had Detective Pikachu on the side. I was like, oh wow, boys are going to love that. I can't wait to go and take that. It looks like such a fun movie. He goes, are you fucking kidding me? So what? Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu. That's got to be the best thing since sliced bread.
It's amazing.
And she goes, nah, mate, that's bollocks. It's like, all right, you're one of those guys then.
Hate things for the sake of hating things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Pokemon. I don't mind the style, but I hate the dubbing.
Oh, I think Pokemon's great, but that's just me. But again, I grew up with it, so...
You grew up with it. I was in that in-between phase of
this is too fucking childish for me.
No, not childish enough for me. It's I was in that transition between giving a fuck and not giving a fuck, and realizing that all of my life choices ahead of me were wrong.
Welcome to being a human.
Yeah, and maybe I should have just played Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's the way forward.
Well, yeah, it passed me by, and now I have to suffer through it as my kids are watching old Pokemon TV on Netflix.
Yes.
God, they shout a lot.
Yeah, they do.
I don't understand why they have to shout when they're just talking to each other. There's acting and there's dubbing over anime. But they love it. You clearly do. You're got the mindset of an 8-year-old. It's fine.
Yes, this is true.
Which I think is what the guys at work think that I have.
I'm pretty sure I was like 10 when Pokemon came out, but okay, well. I'll take that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And you haven't grown up since.
Nope.
Just got older.
Now I get paid, and I'm still immature. It's great.
You get paid? Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now I just have more money to be a nerd with. It's awesome.
I can't wait till that day.
It'll happen. Just be that jolly guy still.
I'm going to be the
Get
jolly
more tips.
man and live on tips, yeah. And every month I'll be able to afford the $11.95 for a can of spray primer.
Or one technical paint.
I tell you what, my contrast paint review is going to come out as soon as those paints hit the shelves. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it yet. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Even if I have to go into the shop and film it on my phone secretly as I'm doing it and then dub over the whole thing. I'll dub it in an anime style. I'll just do some helium and shout.
It was me.
Right. That's my planning done for that video then.
Awesome.
I will just use the demo bottles in the shop.
Do it.
I don't think the Bromley manager's going to notice. Especially now that I've said it. Right, well, with that in mind, and with Larry telling us to wrap up half an hour ago...
Was butchered.
Yeah, right, like I'm going to do as I'm told. I'm going to wrap up. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
Nah. I'm good.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get Ian on one soon so that he can tell us
Jokes.
what you reckon he's not going to come back. I know we're not going to get Dave back except on very special occasions. And
Dave's gone. Dave's gone forever.
Dave is, as he started, he's Norm's wife. He's I'm trying to think of a more relevant thing because nobody listening to this knows about Cheers. Who's the guy in The Big Bang Theory who had a mum that shouted at him lots? You never saw her. She just always.
Oh my god! I've had an absolute mind blank.
The guy with the big nose.
Howard.
Yeah, Howard's mum. Yeah. So that's Dave. He exists in the other room. You can hear him from time to time, but he doesn't really exist.
This is true.
Yeah, he's that sitcom trope. And Simon may come back. He may redeem himself yet, but for now he is virtually farming. And all respect and props to him for virtually farming because he's making so much more money on YouTube than I ever will.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram at MWAH Podcast, which gets you through to Larry. Mini Model Paint, that gets through to me. Instagram only, LTP_geek.
Indeed.
That gets to you, and the other people who aren't on the thing, that you can just wait until they get on the show if you want to talk to them.
Google the Matrix and they might show up.
They might. We've also there's Facebook groups and there's a website and there's hyphens or maybe no hyphens, but Models Workshop. If you're listening to this, you're probably already part of the groups. Tell your friends. I'm Batman, and that's not right. and tell all your friends about me. Right, until next time.
Have fun.
You always want to get the last word.
Shh.